Absolutely. Yep.
Um, so obviously you said your attorney, and this was another one of my pre-prep questions, so we kind of went into it. Your attorney said they knew they didn't have anything, blah blah blah. What was the anything that they did have? Was their only theory that the cooler moved? Like there
No,
doesn't
Or
seem to
or
be anything at
or you
all.
they,
misspoke a couple
you,
times.
yeah, I misspoke. If you want it, real quick, if you ever just go to their final argument where they kind of encapsulate everything, really condense their argument. And their biggest part of that was, if it wasn't Matt, who else would it be? If you think it was murder, we proved that it wasn't even murder. That's coming up in the specialist part. It was. We have definitive evidence that their evidence is incredible. There's the neck injuries that were could have happened. I mean, you have to go. It's technical, but we proved
Yeah,
that it wasn't a homicide. But even if you believe that it was a homicide, the only thing they had was, who else is going to do something like this? To set it up like a suicide. My retort to that is, how the fuck would we know you didn't develop any other suspects?
right.
Literally,
Exactly.
who you think that I was the only person in Emily's life that could have done this? She had a brother that lived right down the road that knew she was suicidal. So maybe he. Now I'm not saying I'm not slandering anybody. I'm just, there's other
Right.
people in her life that
Yeah.
Right.
knew, that
Hmm.
might have been like, fuck Emily. I don't like this new what situations to kill her, and then try to set me up by setting it up like a suicide. If you didn't develop any other suspects, and my attorney totally proved that. I mean, there was two separate dogs, tracker dogs, 2 weeks apart, went to a house, the same house that's just north of the condo. They tracked her scent from our condo to this person's house. They didn't even do a background check down him. They didn't even surveil him. They just knocked on his door, and they just got what they wanted from him, and it didn't have anything to do with me. So they didn't bother looking into it. And I'm
Wow.
not saying that
Wow.
that dude had anything to do with anything.
Right.
My wife committed suicide. I'm 100% certain of it. Unless there's some sort of weird reality that I don't know about. She committed suicide. She was suicidal. They just made this story up and made this weird thing to try to put a case on me. But
Yeah.
if you want to go down the line, well, she was murdered. They proved that it was murder. All right. Well, how do we know Matt did it? Because, well, we don't have any evidence because we missed her and we ran a horrible investigation. But you just gonna have to trust us. There would be evidence if we would have found her, but she was out in the woods for 4 months, so all that evidence is gone. So you're just gonna have to trust this, that
Right.
he's the only one that would ever do anything like this. There doesn't make
Yeah.
any other sense. How would you know that? How the so that you had my advice is, if you don't want to watch the whole trial, just go to the closing arguments, and he'll tell you what you're asking. What evidence do they have against me?
Yeah.
Apparently, I'm the only one that would have any incentive to do anything like that, because just because you just have to trust them.